Alright guys, so as you probably saw on the dyno video, it drew to a shit close just as we were getting good. So I'm back here at the workshop and we're going to pull this thing out and see what happened, hopefully. And I've got because I don't have the time to stuff around and build a forged by men right now, I've got a low-K VR Series 2 motor coming from the wreckers. Should be here on Monday. So I'm basically going to strip that down, put my heads on it, timing chain, you know, lifters, all the valve train, etc. All I want is the bottom end. They say it's good compression and it's even, so we'll see. But yeah, been in a bit of a rush. We haven't really had time to film taking this apart. Not that it's that interesting anyway. But yeah, Andrew's here with us now. We're just about to grab the engine crane and pretty much hoist this thing out. Just got to get rid of the bonnet. And then start stripping it down slowly. Kind of devastating, but it's got to be done. So yeah, I honestly think the reason why it's broken or whatever's happened is because it was actually running lean. The ECU, as Ben said in the dyno video, was trimming fuel, and by the time I noticed, I'd already done a few like full throttle, you know, 13-pound pulls almost to redline. So that's definitely not good for the motor. But yeah, it's kind of my bad, kind of the ECU's bad, but we've got rid of that bullshit now, so it should never happen again. Just hope this new motor's half decent, then I'll just keep this one, build it up, 4Gs, all the good gear, and then I'll have a spare motor for this when this one does go pop, if it goes pop. So yeah. Alright, so before I pulled this apart back at home, I actually did a quick compression test on all cylinders except the passenger side front. I can't remember what cylinder number that is, just because the exhaust manifold was in the way. But basically what I got was, starting from the back, 150, 150, 160, 160, 130, and I don't know. But what I did discover on this front passenger side, or front left cylinder, is that hopefully that will, the spark plug gap has closed up to, I measured it before with the feeler gauge, closed up to 0.3 mil, where I had it gapped at 0.8 mil. So it's had contact obviously with a piston, or I don't know if it can be caused by detonation, but there's definitely more to be found. I'm just hoping that there's no bearings or anything that's put shit through the oil, because then I've got to do a new oil filter, I mean new oil cooler. I'm doing a new oil filter anyway. So yeah, stay tuned for the autopsy, as they'll call it. Alright, I'm back. As you saw, I've already got the motor out, and you've probably seen the time lapse of me pulling it down. So while I've got the motor facing the normal way, so heads up, I'll show you guys what I've found at the top of the cylinders. It's not looking good. So there's all my nice, neat layout. The good thing is, all the heads look clean. I haven't seen metal in anything, all the lifters, everything. I also put a magnet in the oil, which I've got down there. No metal in that, so that's a very good sign, because you know, if there was metal in this stuff, I'd probably have to chuck the lifters, thoroughly clean out the heads. I have to change my whole oil filter setup, or oil cooler I should say, on this, which is kind of custom mounted, which I don't really want to do, which is good. So I'll just grab this flashlight. Here are the pistons. As you can see right there, there's a bit of piston ring at the top of that cylinder, which is never a good sign. Okay, this middle cylinder appears to be okay. The top of it looks pretty normal, I think. That one did actually give the best compression. This one looks completely trashed. I'll take that light up. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but there's bits of piston ring on top of that as well, as you can probably see. On a plus side though, the Cometic MLS head gaskets seem to seal pretty well. I did put a touch of copper spray on it before I put it on, just to make sure I didn't have any coolant leaks. So this is on the passenger side, the left hand side of the vehicle or motor. This one also looks a bit how you going. This is the cylinder that the spark plug was actually closed up on. Now you can definitely see some indentations of detonation and indentations of shit flying around in there. So I'll be very interested when we pull these pistons out. Oh, here we go, middle cylinder, there's a nice chunk of... So it's not looking good, although it doesn't matter because I'm getting another motor anyway, which should have a stout bottom end. It's only got 139,000 Ks, so as long as they've done regular services, you can't go too wrong, especially when it's NA. So fingers crossed for that. I'm going to get back onto this, roll it over, pull the oil pan off, and disassemble the rest of the motor, and we'll pull the pistons and have a look. Ben's here. We've just gone through basically everything that we put out of the motor, and it doesn't look like it's actually anything to do with detonation or the motor itself blowing up. It's literally a pesky injector clip, which you might remember on the Dyno, Ben saying that we are missing an injector clip.
So the only thing we can think of at the moment is we are missing one injector clip. We can't find, but it's unlikely that went in.
So I think,
found it.
Yeah, we hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I'll put a photo on if you can't, but we found the injector clip, parts of it. I think the rest is going to be in the exhaust. So this is this number one piston, I think?
Number one, yeah.
So there's evidence of a bit of battering.
Oh, where's my pointer?
So
Yeah, she's pretty smashed up on the crown there.
Yeah, so what are we thinking? We reckon that it's obviously bumped off into the charge pipe.
Yeah, somehow it's got into the intake and past the valve. Smashed up, yeah. It's been bouncing around on the combustion chamber, I guess, on the ground there. Because
there isn't much room, because I'll put a photo on, but the piston comes out of the bore without the head gasket about,
I think it's about
a mil or so.
30, 40 thou.
Yeah. So with a bit of this on top, that's easy.
There's a simulation.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's pretty beat up just in this, in the top of the crown there, and you can see, like, imagine a bit of that was bouncing around in there.
Yeah.
Smashing against the head. The head was alright, wasn't it?
There was damage. There was damage, but thankfully it's cast iron, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And yeah, you said the piston rings look good, which is
the piston rings look pretty good.
The skirt of the piston is pretty.
You can still see the machining marks in there. So actually, this side's probably better to look at. So you can see these lines that run this way. That's the machining marks on the skirt. A couple of little score marks that you can clean up, and but you probably wouldn't use this unless you really had to, because it is chipped.
Not.
It's all chipped up in there.
Yeah.
But bearings are worn.
So if you recall earlier in the video when I was pulling, this is the new motor I'm building up now, which you can see a whole build series on as well. If you recall, I had bits of piston, I think, in this cylinder, which is number 3 or 4?
3.
Yeah, 3. And also number 6.
Yep.
And number 1. And I think, is that 2?
That's 2.
Yeah, number 2. So what we're thinking is it's obviously gone, it's probably landed in the charge pipe, which is down here. Been sucked through, because I do remember as soon as we changed the injectors, when you first started it up, I remember hearing a rattling noise, like a tinkling noise, and I thought that the clip was bouncing around somewhere on top of the manifold,
on the alternator,
under the alternator, and I thought I saw it, but it was actually a cable. And then I think you turned it off.
And the alternator's kind of here.
That's right. Yes, because after it was tinkling around, I was like, oh, okay, I can't find it. I didn't think there'd be something in the motor. Then we turned it off and we went and had lunch. So obviously then after we fired it up, it's taken a big gulp of vacuum. Maybe sucked it into another cylinder.
Bouncing around inside the limb.
So I think, regardless, it's looks like it's fired, like the followed the firing order. And broken up, changed between pistons. And when I put this back in, I'm going to actually pull the exhaust off, and I'm going to look.
Check your injector clips.
I'll be putting 6 injector clips on. I think that's a pretty disappointing end. It's kind of good, I think. What do you reckon?
I think
we know that the motor's not. Anyway, even after that, the motor still probably would have run. We reckon it's just that knocking noise was probably the piston smacking the steel into the cylinder head.
The cylinder head.
So that's enough to make that knocking noise, and it makes sense why the car then started to fail.
It'd sort of run, and then it would have a knock and then stall, which is probably that injector clip getting crushed and jamming the motor.
So there you go, guys. The motor is clearly strong. Like, those pistons still look pretty good. We found the bearings are a bit shit, but that might be because of the company that reconditioned the motor when I bought it many years ago. But what do you reckon? We can definitely turn it up safely. I know all you guys are waiting for that.
Boost it up.
I'll wait a little bit longer till I've got my Forester done, just because I was meant to be doing that this weekend, but I'm doing this car now. But that's what happens when we choose these hobbies. So stay tuned for more videos, guys, and thanks, Benny.
See you guys.